Okay, class, let's continue. Okay, we continue with referring to this particular slide. Okay, for this particular slide, I would like everyone to take note that I will discuss I will discuss the item for the formwork according to this particular drawing. Okay, right. How you want to know which item that you have to go through for the formwork? We can start from the step. Okay, so I start with the step and I put the numbering. You can follow me through one by one. Okay, so first item that you have to measure is formwork 2 riser. We normally did not put any formwork 2 to horizontal part, that is straight. So item number 1, we have to measure formwork 2 riser. Formwork 2 riser, you can refer to F.12.5. Okay, F.12.5, where you have to measure in meter. Okay, so how you want to measure the formwork 2 riser? The formwork 2 riser must be measured according to the width of the staircase. So if I write again, the answer is in blue color. The answer is the width of staircase. Okay, the width of the staircase, then you have to times with how many numbers of riser. That is the purpose why in the previous discussion, I asked Fu Junsheng to identify how many steps that you have. So you can refer back to this to your drawing and also the example in this particular drawing. How many riser that you have? How many riser that you have? This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Okay, number 4 is not considered as edges of the slab. Yeah, this is considered as riser. Okay, so the answer is in blue color. The width is P. The width is P. Then the answer is times with 4 numbers. This is only example. I would like you to understand the principle of the example. Okay, understand? Okay, Irene. This is how you want to measure formwork 2 riser. Okay, next one. We move to the side of the riser. Item number 2 is forward to the open string. Okay, so I show you the measurement according to the drawing. Okay. Okay. Item number 2 is to open string. So I use red color. So the red color is item that you have to measure to open string. Open string, you have to refer to F.16.3. This is this is going to be measured in meter square. Okay, so how you want to measure in meter square? We normally have to put the plate for the whole part. Okay, the plate for the whole part. That means you have to put the line. So this is a very crucial where you have to put the line from the lowest until the maximum. Okay, so if I draw again from this side, okay, you have to put from this one to the maximum. Okay, that is the length, and the width is this one. The width is 90 degree from this. This is 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Okay, I have to flip over a little bit. So that is the length and that is the width. So if I write again, I may put this one as maybe X. This is X. Sorry. This one, the answer is X. And then this one is Y. So the answer is X times Y. X multiply Y. Okay, Right, so that is item number 2. Open string has to be measured in F1.16.3, but please take note on the category for F1.16.3, either the sloping is not exceeding 15 degree or exceeding 15 degree from horizontal. So that is item number 2. So I wrap. Okay, so we have finished number 1, that is riser. This is number 2, that is string. Now we move to item number 3, that is formwork 2. Formwork 2, edges of the slab. Okay, so item number 3 is formwork 2. Formwork 2, edges of the slab. Edges of slab. Okay, so formwork 2, edges of the slab is having similar clause as riser, F1.2.5. You have to write down the category according to the height, not exceeding 250 in minimum. Sorry, my kids. And then after that, you have to measure according the length, because the answer is in meter. Okay, so how you want to measure? The measurement is the length of this one. This is the length, and then times with how many sides? You have 1. This is the side, and P also the other answer. Okay, P also another answer. So T times 2 and plus P. That is the answer for edges of the slab. Any question, class? So we have 3 items to be measured for the formwork. After that, after number 4, we have formwork to soffit of the slab. Okay, this is number 4. T. Number 4, I put here. Soffit of the slab. Okay, soffit of the slab, this is under F112.1. Okay, F112.1, there are 3 categories, A, B, or C. Okay, F112.1, A, B, or C. So this is under horizontal. How you want to measure for soffit, formwork to soffit of the slab? You can measure according to the dimension here as T, then times with P. Okay, so the formula here is T times P. Then you get the answer in meter square. Item number 5 here. Item number 5 is also having the same clause F.12.1, but this one is either F.12.1. This is either B or this is either B or C, because this is sloping, but you have to identify whether the sloping is not exceeding 15 degree or exceeding 15 degree from horizontal. So how you want to measure? The answer is P times U. Okay, P times U is the horizontal part of the staircase. Okay, and then the last one, any question? The last one is the side and soffit of landing beam. So that is B, side and soffit of landing beam. The rules are similar as the side and soffit of your beam that you have learned in measurement 1. You can measure by taking the length times 2 and then plus with the soffit, then times with P. This is only example. Okay, so for the soffit of the landing slab, for the soffit and side of the landing beam, the rule are similar as F.14. Okay, F.14.1 horizontal. That will be the summary for the item that you have to measure for the landing beam, landing slab, staircase, and so on. The detail, you can go through all of these. For example, I have mentioned here how to write the description. We have to identify what kind of the formwork and then to what item, and how to measure is what we have discussed just now. So every single item had been shown with the example of the description. And then what I showed you earlier is just to make everything to be simple and easy according to the drawing, step by step. Okay, you can go through this one again in detail. Any question for the formwork? Any question for the formwork? Okay, if no question for the formwork, let me summarize the item to be measured for the formwork. Okay, I start with the riser. This is number one. Remember, you have to identify the thickness or the height of the riser. Then you have to write down the category, either not exceeding 250 or exceeding 250, not exceeding 500. Okay, you have to scale first. The answer is the length of the or the width of the staircase times with how many numbers of the step. Item number two, this is the string. Remember that there are two sides of the string. This is side number one. We also have another side here. Okay, no matter whether you have the brick wall or not, the brick wall cannot be used as part of the formwork. We have to construct the staircase first, then the last one only install the brick wall. So do not confuse if they are brick wall. Please measure two sides for the string. The string has to be measured in meter square. Okay, you have to measure the length times the height. The height here, you have to make sure that this is 90 degree. This is perpendicular. Perpendicular means 90 degree from horizontal. Okay, item number three that I discussed just now. Item number three, we have edges of the landing slab. So here there are three edges of the slab. 1, 2, and here. Why P also considered as edges of the slab? Because when you measure the concrete just now, the concrete for the landing beam is below. So on the top of the landing beam, from this point to this point, also considered as landing slab. Okay, so that is item number three. Item number four, just now we have formwork to soffit of landing slab here. And then item number five, formwork to sloping staircase. Okay, at the bottom of this, you have to measure the length and times with P, or the width of the staircase. And the last one, item number six, is measure the side and soffit of landing beam. Okay, so that is the six item that you have to measure for the formwork to staircase. Always remember, if you don't have landing, do not measure or make any assumption of the landing. Let's say the drawing is only straight flight. How many items that you have to measure? You only have to measure formwork to riser, and formwork to string, and formwork to soffit or sloping staircase. Only three items. Once you have the landing, then there are six items to be measured. Please check the drawing before you start any measurement. Okay, right. The last part for today is measurement for the bar reinforcement. How many rules of the measurement that you have to take note? For the bar reinforcement, normally what you have to do first, you have to identify the type. Okay, this is either T or Y or R, with the high tensile or bar steel. And then you have to check the British standard. If the British standard is given, you have to write down. If not, you have to search for that. Number three, you have to identify the diameter. Okay. Number four, you have to identify the shape, whether this one is straight and bend bar, or maybe stirrup, or maybe link, and so on. Normally for the staircase, we only have straight and bend bar. But remember, if you have the landing beam, means you should have, if you have the landing beam, means you have the stirrup. Okay. After that, you have to identify the location. So this location is either in staircase or step, or in either in landing beam or landing slab. Okay, so if you identify according to this 5 rule, it will be easier for you to take note on how many items that you have to measure. This is just to recap what you have learned in measurement 1 in terms of the design and the formula for the band. Okay, but this one, because the reference is in Malay, so I would like you to only see the label here. Look at the label here for international student, and this is the total length. Sorry, I haven't convert to English yet. So how you want to get the length of A? This is A, and then if you have design like this, so you have to measure A plus H. And then you may also have design like number 3, number 4, and number 5, and so on. And this one sometimes is given in the notes of the specification in any drawing. If not being given, you can use this one as the rule to identify how many H that you have, how many band, 1 band, 2 band, 3 band, and so on. Okay, so this is in Malay. So look at what have been highlighted in yellow color. You can refer to this one. Okay, just refer to this one. Minimum band is H. Minimum band is 9D. Total band is 12D. This is how we get 12D. This is how we get 6D. Okay, I'm sure this one had been covered in your measurement one. So this is just a recap. Okay, this is what I did mention under clause F.8. You have to identify the location. F.8.4F. In staircase, string and associated loading must be mentioned under element of staircase. Okay, and another one I would like you to take note that the item for the landing landing beam, landing slab must be mentioned under element of staircase, but not to be grouped all together under staircase as one item. Some students they confused, Miss, is it under one item? The answer is no. Okay, this is to identify that under element of the staircase, you have to measure landing if any, string also if any. Okay, vertical bars and bars sloping more than 13 degrees from horizontal shall be grouped together, and they are also category. This is under F.8. The last part, F.8.6 and F.8.7. Okay, so this is the example, and you can refer to this example. The design for the bar reinforcement is really different according to the drawing. Okay, this is the dimension in inch, but the dimension that you have in your drawing all in mm. Okay, so you can see here the one that you can see in bullet color, this is the transverse bar, this is another transverse bar. Okay, and then this is the bar that is repeated for the width according to the width of your staircase. So what you need to do first, you have to identify how many items available in landing slab, how many items is available in landing beam, and then you have to write down the taking off list. This is covered under studio number 2. Okay, measurement for the bar reinforcement under studio number 2. Studio number 1 is only concrete and formwork. Right. In contrast with the concrete work, the stirrup must be measured until the top of the slab. This is also what I would like to highlight because I don't want my students to get confused. When you measure for the concrete work, the beam is below the slab. When you measure the formwork, the beam also is below the slab. But remember, when you measure the bar reinforcement, it must be overlapping. So if they are overlapping, you cannot measure separately. They are overlapping of the bar reinforcement in the landing beam until the top of the slab. So only deduction of deduction of the bar reinforcement on the top and at the bottom. Okay, and I mean the concrete cover. So this is the rule that I did mention. What are the basic rules to identify the taking off list? This is what we discussed just now. We have to identify according to Y or T, and then you have to identify the diameter, what is the shape, whether straight and bend bar or whether the link or the stirrup, and the last one is the location. The response of my laptop is so slow with my hand. So the last one is the location, yeah? You can see the design here is a bit complicated, but this is how it looks like. So my advice is measure one by one, and you really need to use the pencil color or highlighter. And during our discussion after this in the studio, we will use different color to highlight different kind of the bar reinforcement. Okay. The way you need to write the description, this is what I did mention just now. I would like to see all the students show this one. Show one by one how you deduct the concrete cover, how many band that you have to add in, any formula, and you have to times with how many numbers of the bar. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, what I would like to see in the sidecast is this one. You must show this one in the sidecast, and every single part must be properly labeled. This is the example for Y16 that I take out from this drawing. So the total length of the bar must be shown in the sidecast. I don't want my student to write A, B, C, D, and here he put A, B, and C and D. No, I would like my student to write down the dimension straight away from the sketch of the bar reinforcement that you have seen in the drawing. Okay, do not put A, B, C, and D. You only can put all of this as A because we have another design for the bar reinforcement, and show the total out of the length. Okay, and remember the length is one issue. Another one, numbers of the bar also must be properly shown. Okay, this is the numbers of the bar. So that will be the end of the lecture for today. Any question?